year 3142, humanity had reached the stars, colonized over a dozen systems, and proudly declared themselves an advanced civilization. They had ships with artificial gravity, wormhole engines, and a deeply concerning lack of seat cushions aboard most vessels. That is until the elves showed up. No, not Earth elves. These were space elves, 7 feet tall, glowing eyes, sleek, silvery robes, and ears so long they had to be licensed as weapons. They claimed to be a peaceful race, known as the Ilithari, and offered shiny tech and special chair upgrades to humanity's fleet. The chairs were soft, tempting, luxurious. They even hummed slightly and smelled like cinnamon. Naturally, humans accepted. They didn't ask questions, because who would? And then the goo started. It was subtle at first. Captain Rourke of the HMS Thunderpick was the first. Upon settling into his newly upgraded command chair, there was a moment of humming, a flicker of lights, and then a warm sensation in his lap, followed by an audible squirt. A glob of translucent blue goo splashed upward, gently coating his thighs like an overexcited jellyfish. He screamed. His crew screamed. Then awkward silence. This began a galactic mystery. Across the fleet, captains began experiencing the same phenomena, always in the new Ilithari chairs, always after sitting for more than 14.7 seconds. The goo was odorless, slightly sparkly, and made your legs tingle in a vaguely pleasant, disturbingly intimate way. Was it a show of dominance, a prank, an alien handshake translated very, very poorly? Conspiracy theories abounded. "They're marking territory," shouted Admiral Greaves during a meeting, his lap still faintly shimmering. "The goo is their flag." "No, no," insisted Commodore Patel. "It's bio-espionage. They're collecting sweat samples to clone us." Captain Lucinda Voss, however, wasn't buying any of it. She was skeptical, and not just because she'd been dry the entire time. Her chair had been back-ordered due to a cargo strike. She started investigating, late-night scans, molecular analysis. She even scraped some goo into a sandwich bag and fed it to her ship's science officer, Ensign Blart. He briefly turned translucent, declared his love for potatoes, and passed out. Then Lucinda discovered the truth. Hidden in an encrypted Ilithari database was the answer. It was a DNA extraction system. Turns out, the Ilithari were facing a fertility crisis. Their own genetics had degraded due to over-perfection. In an effort to revitalize their species, they sought the best DNA in the galaxy. Human captains, by their metrics, had optimum bravado, libido, and command juice potential, whatever that meant. So the chairs were discrete harvesting devices. They extracted a sample, analyzed it, and stored it in tiny, crystalline pods tucked under the seat. Quick, painless, intimate. Lucinda made the discovery public. That was her mistake. Suddenly, every officer in the fleet wanted to sit in the captain's chair. "I call next!" shouted Lieutenant Franks, already undoing his belt. "Get in line!" barked Commander Lee, holding a timer. "Can I get gooed if I just hover over the chair?" asked Ensign Ruby, with scientific curiosity and an eyebrow wiggle. Fleet Command was in chaos. Entire ships were now operating on a rotating chair-goo schedule. Promotions were no longer based on merit, but on goo frequency. The Ilithari were thrilled. "Your species," said their ambassador, "is surprisingly cooperative." But it wasn't all fun and goo. Some captains, feeling possessive, began guarding their chairs jealously. Captain Rourke rigged his with spikes. Others installed seatbelts, 5-point harnesses, race car style. Meanwhile, pirate groups began kidnapping chairs, selling them on the black market under names like Lapjuice Deluxe and the Moist Commander. Eventually, a compromise was reached. The chairs would remain, the DNA would be collected, voluntarily this time, and everyone, not just captains, could take a turn. Humanity, it turned out, didn't mind being part of an alien breeding program, as long as there were clear schedules, proper cleanup protocols, and a very generous benefits package. And so the Federation adapted the new fleet slogan: one chair, one lap, infinite possibilities.